In the 12th century BCE, when the Israelites came from Egypt into Canaan, the Jebusites who guarded Jerusalem were not conquered. They continued to maintain an independent small city-state. It was not until around 1000 BCE that King David led the Israelite army to capture the city and move the national capital from Hebron to Jerusalem. From that moment on, Jerusalem transformed from a small tribal settlement into the political center of the unified Kingdom of Israel. Following tradition, David named the new capital the City of David. During his 33-year reign, he completed the unification of the entire land of Canaan with Jerusalem as the center. David also brought to Jerusalem the most sacred object in Jewish worship, the Ark of the Covenant, which contained the stone tablets of the Ten Commandments given to Moses. He temporarily placed it on an altar and intended to build a magnificent temple to house it. However, this wish was fulfilled by his son Solomon. After Solomon succeeded to the throne, he spent 7 years and mobilized nearly 200,000 workers to build the magnificent Temple of Yahweh in Jerusalem, known in history as the First Temple. The Ark of the Covenant was placed inside it. The establishment of the First Temple solidified Jerusalem's sacred status in Judaism. Thereafter, countless Jews came from all directions to offer sacrifices and make pilgrimages. From this time forward, Jerusalem became both the political center and the religious center of the Jewish nation. Its fate became inseparable from the rise and fall of the Jewish people. White medium star from prosperity to destruction. The rise and fall of Jerusalem, 922 BC. Jerusalem was captured by the Egyptians. 850 BCE. The city fell to the Philistines. Late 8th century BCE. King Hezekiah of Judah expanded the city and constructed the famous Siloam Tunnel, which channeled fresh water from outside the walls into the city. However, in 586 BCE, Nebuchadnezzar II of Babylon captured Jerusalem, completely destroyed the city and the temple, and deported the king and many Jews to Babylon, an event known as the Babylonian Captivity. White medium star, the Second Temple period. In 538 BCE, Cyrus the Great of Persia conquered Babylon and allowed the Jews to return to their homeland. Under the leadership of Zerubbabel, a descendant of David, they rebuilt the temple on its original site over the span of 20 years. This became known as the Second Temple. For more than 300 years that followed, the Jewish community in Jerusalem largely enjoyed autonomy. But in 198 BCE, the Seleucid Empire, which controlled Syria, began enforcing Hellenization. They banned Jewish religious practices, plundered the temple, and even converted it into a temple of Zeus. This provoked open resistance. In 164 BCE, the famous Maccabean Revolt succeeded, restoring the temple and establishing the Hasmonean Kingdom. White medium star, Rome arrives, and the Second Temple's golden age. In 63 BCE, Roman general Pompey captured Jerusalem, initiating Roman domination over the region of Palestine. The Roman Senate appointed Herod, an Idumean, as ruler of Judea. During his 36-year rule, King Herod ushered in an era of unprecedented prosperity. The city expanded greatly. Massive fortifications were constructed. The Second Temple was rebuilt and magnificently enlarged. Palaces, fortresses, theaters, and public facilities were built. Jerusalem during this time became one of the most important and magnificent cities in the Middle East. After Herod's death, his sons were soon deposed by Rome, and Palestine came under the direct rule of Roman governors, the most famous of whom was Pontius Pilate, who sentenced Jesus to be crucified. White medium star, the Second Destruction, the Iron Heel of Rome. In 66 CE, Jewish revolts against Rome erupted. In 70 CE, Roman general Titus besieged Jerusalem. The city was destroyed again, and the Second Temple was reduced to ruins. In 130 CE, after another Jewish revolt was suppressed, the Roman Emperor Hadrian ordered the complete demolition of the old city and built a Roman city in its place. Aelia Capitolina. All that remained of the ancient temple was a portion of its western retaining wall, known today as the Western Wall or Wailing Wall, the holiest site in Judaism. White medium star the Islamic era and the Crusades. After the fall of the Roman Empire, Jerusalem came under Byzantine control. In the 7th century, Arab Muslims conquered the region and reshaped the city. On the Temple Mount, they constructed the Dome of the Rock, the Al-Aqsa Mosque. These made Jerusalem the third holiest city in Islam. In 1099, during the First Crusade, Jerusalem was captured by the Crusaders, who established the Latin Kingdom. In 1187, the Kurdish commander Saladin defeated the Crusaders and retook the city, becoming a Muslim hero. In 1517, the Ottoman Empire under Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent conquered Jerusalem. He rebuilt the city walls that still stand today. White medium star the shared holy city of three religions. Jerusalem is the only city in the world that is revered as holy by Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Judaism. Jerusalem was the capital of the ancient Jewish kingdom and the site of the first and second temples. For Jews dispersed around the world, it remained their eternal spiritual center. Traditional prayers often end with the words, "Next year in Jerusalem." Christianity. Jerusalem is the place where Jesus was born nearby, preached, suffered, died, and resurrected. In the 4th century, Empress Helena made a pilgrimage there and built the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, making the city a permanent Christian holy site. Islam. Jerusalem is the site of the Prophet Muhammad's night journey and ascension. The Al-Aqsa Mosque and Dome of the Rock make it the third holiest site in Islam, after Mecca and Medina. White medium star conflict and hope. The name Jerusalem in both Hebrew and Arabic carries the meaning city of peace. Yet throughout its nearly 5,000-year history, it has rarely enjoyed true peace. Today, people still hope that ancient wisdom will one day guide this ancient city at the crossroads of three religions, amid millennia of struggles, faith, and longing, to finally enter an era of lasting peace.